The Red Sea has been brewing with trouble. Tensions are at an all-time high, and the people behind it are the Houthis. They've been targeting ships that are passing through the region. The Houthis say that their attacks are a response to Israel's bombardment of Gaza. In the last 2 months, the Houthis have attacked over 30 commercial ships, but it seems like they've gone too far. The Houthis have poked the bear. After multiple attacks on ships and hijacking attempts, the Houthis were met with the wrath of Western forces. American and British fighter pilots were tasked with a new mission. The target was Houthi military bases. American F-18 and British Eurofighter jets were airborne, and they struck 60 targets with deadly precision.
Well, we've carried out a series of strikes together with allies which will, we believe, degrade and disrupt the capability. The types of things that we've targeted are launch sites for missiles and for drones. Initial indications are that those strikes have been successful. We'll continue to monitor the situation, but it's clear that this type of behaviour can't be met without a response. We need to send a strong signal that this breach of international law is wrong. People can't act like this with impunity, and that's why, together with allies, we've decided to take this action.
The strikes were inside Yemen, the country that the Houthis control. So, who are the Houthis and how powerful are they? The Houthis are called Ansar Allah, or the supporters of God. They govern most of Yemen and are widely popular in the country. The Houthis are practitioners of Shia Islam, and for years they've been fighting against the Sunni-dominant neighbor Saudi Arabia. And throughout their fight, the Houthis have been supported and funded by Iran. The slogan of the Houthis is, "Allah is the greatest, death to America, death to Israel, a curse upon the Jews, and victory to Islam." Their ideology is quite threatening. So how strong are the Houthis? The Houthis call themselves the Armed Forces of Yemen. They have almost 100,000 troops, including paramilitary forces. Houthis have about 50 tanks and 40 artillery guns. They have almost 40 naval vessels, most of which are high-speed boats. The Houthis even have an air force with over 50 fighter jets. It's mostly old Russian aircraft and America's F-5 jets that Yemen bought decades ago. But years of fighting have made the Houthis specialists in asymmetrical and guerrilla warfare. And with the help of Iran, they have acquired smart and long-range weaponry. The Houthis have been waging a proxy war on behalf of Iran for years. The aim was to destabilize the West Asian region and reduce the influence of Saudi Arabia. In the years of fighting, the Houthis learned to fight well. The rebels have copied Iranian weapons and made their own versions. The Houthis now have long-range ballistic missiles, short-range cruise missiles, and a fleet of attack drones. The number of missiles and drones remain unknown, but some of the weapons that the Houthis have are better than many militaries. And this is all thanks to Iran. The first is the Shahab-3 ballistic missile. It can strike targets up to 2,000 kilometers away. Then there's the Quds-2 missile, a cruise missile with a range of up to 1,200 kilometers. There's also a large fleet of drones that the Houthis have. The most trusted kamikaze munition is the Samad-3. It has a range of up to 1,500 kilometers and has proven to strike targets with accuracy. The Houthis and their weapons have become a menace for commercial ships in the Red Sea. And why is that? The Houthis may not be an advanced force like Western militaries, but whatever they have works really well, particularly in the terrain they operate in. That's because the Houthis oversee the busiest shipping lane in the world, the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, which connects the Red Sea to the Arabian Sea. Basically, it's the lifeline between Asia and Europe, and any ship that crosses the strait has to do it under the noses of the Houthis. The Red Sea witnesses over 12% of global trade. Over 30% of the world's container traffic passes through this strait. The trade accounts for billions of dollars. The Houthis know just how important the Red Sea is. And to highlight the Palestinian cause, they've been attacking commercial ships, which eventually led to airstrikes by American and British jets. But that didn't scare the Houthis. Instead, they are ready for a fight.
The American and British enemies bear full responsibility for the criminal aggression against the Yemeni people. It will not go unpunished or unanswered. The Yemeni armed forces will not hesitate to target threatening sources and all hostile targets on land and sea in order to defend Yemen, its sovereignty and independence.
The way the Houthis see it, it's about the size of the fight in the dog and not the dog in the fight. The airstrikes on Houthis in Yemen has divided the world of geopolitics. Russia was the first to slam the West.
We strongly condemn these irresponsible actions by the United States and its allies. A large-scale military escalation in the Red Sea region could undermine the positive trends that have emerged recently in the Yemeni settlement process. It can also provoke a destabilization of the situation throughout the Middle East.
Soon after, Turkey's president took the side of the Houthis.
At the moment, they are in an effort to turn the Red Sea into a sea of blood. And Yemen, with the Houthis and by using all of its force, says it is giving and will give the necessary response in the region to America and England. And we are hearing from various channels that the Houthis are mounting a very successful defense, giving a successful response to America and England.
Iran says that America is starting a new war and turning a blind eye to the war in Gaza.
The United States cannot call for restraint while supporting Israel or provoke a conflict in the Red Sea by attacking Yemen, while claiming that it does not want a wider war in the region.
The United Nations feels that if the fighting escalates, civilians will suffer the most. So how do the civilians feel? In Yemen, the Houthis have complete support.
Their strikes will not scare us. They have been bombarding us for 9 years and we were not afraid for a single day. Will the strikes scare us now that we have the missile force, the navy, the men and the force? Praise be to God, by the grace of God, we are a striking force.
The people of Yemen are rallying in the thousands.
US out of Yemen, UK out of Yemen, hands off Yemen now!
Meanwhile, in America, anti-war protests have erupted. They are calling for an end to the bombing. For now, the Red Sea remains a conflict zone. Several nations have deployed their warships. Global corporations are losing millions of dollars. Commercial ship traffic in the Red Sea has dropped. Only one side is sitting comfortably, plotting their next move. It's the Houthis of Yemen.